We're talking about arbitrage. I'm going to give you an example, okay? So I have about 10 days lined up to view between tomorrow and Friday. So Friday is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? Next 3 days. Every single one of them has a yield of 12 to 20%. My target is 15%. We're talking about ready-made deals, okay? Ready blocks of flats, holiday lets or whatever, ready-made buy, give it to a management company, done and done. Or you manage it yourself, doesn't really matter, okay? Let's say on a 15% yield, we're going to work some numbers out so you can see through, okay? Grab a pen and paper, okay? Let's say it's worth 100. It's worth 100, okay? We're going to leverage it with debt at 75-25. So 75% is debt. 25% is investors' money. Either it's my money or some investors' money. Okay? On the 75, let's say you pay 8%. How much is that? Can anyone calculate that? It's 24. Yes? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Okay. Is everyone with me? Is it 24 or not?
How much is the whole?
So imagine it's £750,000.
750.
And you multiply that by 8% and divide it by 100. That would be £24,000, I think.
24.
I think 22,500.
Okay, 22,500. That's fine.
Yeah,
no problem. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So this is, let's say, £1 million portfolio. It's yielding 15%. So the rental that's going to come in now is £150,000. Calculate that 1 million times at a yield of 15% is £150,000, right? Yes, no?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone on the same page? Anara?
No.
Anara, it's a yield of 15%.
Uh-huh.
On £1 million, that's a rental of £150,000. You're multiplying basically 100 to 15. That's all.
100 to 15. Yes, okay.
So it's £150,000 rental. Off of that, you're paying the mortgage, which is 22 or 23 or even 24 or even 25, doesn't really matter.
25.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How much are you left with? 125.
125.
Yeah.
Okay.
You invested 25, 250. Okay. So now you're sitting on almost 50% return on money invested. Everyone on the same page?
15% money.
Guys, this is easy stuff. Damir, do you want to do these numbers with me? Do you have a calculator?
I've got a calculator, but I couldn't get these numbers.
All right. Okay. I'll repeat it so you can get it. Okay. Let's say purchase price is $1 million.
$1 million?
Yeah.
No, I started with 75. You said
okay.
like
So let's say purchase price is $1 million. Let's say purchase price is $1 million.
Okay. Yeah.
Investment from the investor is 250,000, 25-75 leverage. So you get 750,000 loan.
Okay. With the investor.
Yeah. So you invest as an investor, the investor invested 250 and 750,000 came as a mortgage.
Okay.
On 750, you're paying 8% interest to the bank. Yeah.
50.
Because remember, it's a portfolio. It kind of is higher risk. So you don't pay 5%, you pay like 7 or 8%. And I'm taking a very higher number. Normally it's about 7%. I'm taking a higher figure of 8%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here I lost because I get 60. If it's 8%, I get 60, not 24. And then
no. So on 8%, 750,000 is how much? Can you tell me?
60.
Okay, so £60,000 is your mortgage now a year.
I mean, interest. Yeah.
Yeah, interest only
Yeah.
£60,000 is your mortgage. You're right,
Yeah,
Damir. Thank you.
That's,
Okay.
you know,
On £1 million
Mhm.
at a 15% yield, how much is the rent?
15% yield. 1 million. Divided by
150.
times 15, no?
£150,000.
150,
Yes.
yeah, true.
£150,000. You're right. Minus the 60,000 interest to the bank.
90.
How much is that?
90.
£90,000. Now, how much investor invested? 250,000. Yes.
50. So 90 by 250.
What percentage is 90,000? 36%.
36, yeah.
Let's call 6% as management, maintenance, and a whole bunch of other things behind the scene. Yes.
Okay.
Investor is going to make 30% return
Mhm.
on capital employed. Everyone on the same page with me?
Yeah. Yeah.
30% return.
Investor is going to make 30% return on capital employed. Now, if I bring someone who is a developer,
Mhm.
okay, and he's going through all this hassle, I don't want to go through this hassle, I still want to make 20-30% return on my money invested, I bring him a deal like that. Let's say if I bring any investor on the planet, a deal that's going to make 30% net passive income,
Yeah.
do you think how many are going to say yes, how many are going to say no? Give me a percentage.
100.
Yeah, they'll all
No.
say yes. Yeah.
99.
Most will say yes. Let's say most. Okay, but it's never 100% people. Okay, most will say yes. If you source a deal like that, you can easily charge 30, 40, 50 grand. Okay, anywhere between 2% to about 5% easy. Okay, as long as they are getting kind of turnkey service. So, you know, you get documents from them, you get their mortgage done, you look after all the legals, you look after all the hassle. End of it, you get about 30, 40, 50 grand. Yes?
Yep.
Why am I sharing this with you? This is just the flip side of the coin in comparison to development deals. And these are ready-made deals. And you use the arbitrage in your favor. Either you source it or you borrow money from someone at, let's say, 12%. That is 1% a month. Most investors will be happy to give you at 1%. You make 30%. You keep 18% for you, and you give the investor 12%. Or even if you give them 15%, you keep 15% for you. Everyone on the same page with me?
Yeah.
So if they want you to just source the property, you can do that. If they want you to, just be in full control of the deal, you give them 50%, you keep 15%, you keep compounding that. You can create rental income of 100 grand like this. I can show you how to find these deals. I have about 10 of these lined up in Blackpool.
Good.
Okay, I've done these deals myself already, so it's not something that I've not done. I've already done these deals. I've got 10 already booked between tomorrow. The first one is 3 o'clock between tomorrow, day after, and Friday. Okay, and every single one of them is going to make 12. To some of them are reaching up to 22% yield. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. This is just the flip side of sourcing deals, Rajesh. I don't know. I think his audio is gone. Okay. This is just the flip side of the coin, Rajesh, to be sourcing deals. Okay.
Sorry,
so
my computer went. Can you just repeat that again, Jack? Sorry.
Yeah, I was saying this arbitrage, as in
Yes.
the gap between what an investor expects and what you can bring them, value.
Yeah.
They expect, let's say, 1% a month, which is 12% a year. You bring
Yes.
something that's going to make 30%. You give them 15, they're happy. You keep 15 for yourself.
Right.
Or you just turn up to them and say, you know what, I'll just source you the property. I'm going to charge you anywhere between 3 to 5%. Okay, and that's 30 to 50 grand. Okay, but you need to bring value. Without value, Rajesh, no one is going to sign up. No one is going to say yes to you. You need to learn how to bring value on the table. Okay. I am right now about to invest 350,000 of my own money. At 30%, can anyone do the numbers and tell me what sort of net rental income I'll be on?
30% on 3. How much?
150,000.
350 times 30.
105,000.
I will be on net rental passive.
105,000. Yeah.
I will be on net rental passive income of £100,000 once I'm done with this.
Is that a one-off payment or would that be recurring?
No, it will. No, it's recurring every year.
It's recurring every year. So
Yeah,
you would
because net
earn.
rental passive income.
So you would earn 100,000 or 105 each year, but investing 350. What is that? Is that a commercial to residential project or is
No,
that
no, it's not a project. It's just ready-made blocks of flats.
ready-made blocks of flats? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, this is in Blackpool. You can find stock like that in Durham. You can find stock like that in Tyne Wear. You can find them in Sheffield, Leeds, some in Manchester, anywhere between 12 to 20% yield, sometimes even more.
Can you
Okay.
find them in London or is it more up north or south? No.
Up north. Okay.
Up north.
In fact, one came to me this morning in Harrow, net yielding 10.3%, which is very, very impressive for London. Okay, very impressive. Okay, just came through literally now, purchase price 1.7 million. So I'm looking at it for another investor, maybe source it out, make 1-2% done. Okay. Why am I sharing this with you? Is because you don't need to just, it's not just about understanding developments and rent to rent and rent to HMO. It's understanding arbitrage, because arbitrage is applied to everything. You either look at a development, you borrow money at, let's say, 8% from a bank, you borrow money from an investor at 12% per annum, and the aim of that development is to make 20, 25, 30%. It's just arbitrage. Okay. The same goes with rent to HMO. Let's say you look at a unit. Let's say you need £5,000 to invest. It's going to make, let's say, £10,000 by the end of the year. You can return investors' money back. You can make extra money. You keep multiplying that to 20, 30, 50 units. Now you're sitting on decent cash. Arbitrage. Okay. Same applies to blocks of flats as well. Same what I'm sharing with you is arbitrage. Okay.
Jack, can you do this as a beginner or do you need some experience before you?
No, you can do it as a beginner. Rajesh, just don't think beginner, all of that. You just need to focus on saying, what is this guy talking about, right? So the aim is, how do you find deals like that? How do you make the numbers work? I did the numbers right in front of you. How do you go and speak with an investor and say, look, these are the numbers. I can get you a deal like that. Would you pay me? Would you pay me 5%? I don't think anyone on this planet is going to say no. They have to be stupid. If anyone says no, you put the phone down politely and think in your head, yes. Okay? And then you move on to one who actually understands numbers. Okay? And so arbitrage really applies to every single investment that you might think of. Rent to HMOs, rent to rent, development deals, ready blocks of flats, conversions. It doesn't really matter. It's just leveraging arbitrage in your favor. You pay someone 12%, you make 20, 25, 30, 35% on it, and you are good. Are you with me?
Yeah. So now how to find these?
How to find the deals. Okay, let me share the screen with you.
By the way, Jack, I've started going through the videos again. Your
You do
20
need
to
to.
23. And you got 2024 as well, 16 videos, but do I go for the 20 to the 23 videos first and then go on to the other ones? Or
entirely up to you. Just make sure you make a spreadsheet where you're ticking them off.
Okay.
Everyone can see my screen?
Yeah.
The entrepreneur's agent.
No, this is a local agent. So there are two local agents. Can you see this ones? Okay, can everyone see the screen? Kenrick's estate agents.
Yes.
Okay, and then the second one is Case. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Everyone can see that. These are
Yep.
two dominant estate agents in Blackpool. Okay. I'm doing the search on the site
Mhm.
for sale, commercial, any type. Let's say holiday flats, tenure, freehold. Search. Can everyone see there's only 4 properties?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay. So let's look at this one, first one. Okay. Let's scroll through. 5 self-contained flats plus 1.5 bed owners accommodation. So make it 6, yes?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Remember, you don't need to give this flat to anyone else, so it eventually becomes 6. Okay. 6, and it's up for grabs. It's by Pattinson auction, and the guide price sits at 200,000. So, can you see 200,000?
Yeah.
Okay. In Blackpool, if you pay, from my intimate knowledge, if you pay anywhere between 30 to 40 grand a unit, you will achieve 15%. So as 6 units, 200 divided by 6 is what is that? About 34,000, something like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
33 and a third. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. On the 6 units, if you charge even £100 a week each unit, that's £600 times 52 or 50. How much is that? Anyone
What
doing
was
the
it? Sorry,
You
Say it
look at
again.
this.
Can you repeat?
repeat it. 52 divided by what? Sorry, Jack.
So these are 6 units.
Yeah.
Six.
Even if we charge £100 a week for each
Mm.
unit,
Okay.
and then that's 600 a week
Times
times
52.
50 weeks a year, not even 52, 50 weeks a
31,200.
year. Huh?
31,200 a
Let's
year.
say 30,000.
30,000.
Can you see at 30,000
Mhm.
on a 200,000 pound, that's 15% yield?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yes,
Are you with me?
yes.
When you take 15% yield, what sort of return on capital employed is that? That's over 30%. That's about 36%
Yeah.
return on capital employed.
Yeah. True.
Are you with me?
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Other deals are the same numbers. Okay, this is 8 self-contained flats at 260. Can you see that? In fact, this one is 8 self-contained flats plus 2 owners accommodation.
Mhm.
So in essence, it's 10 units. Can you see that?
Mhm. Yeah.
10 units up for grabs for 260. Each unit again is going to bring in 100 a week. 10 units would bring in 1,000. By the end of the year, it will bring £50,000.
50,000.
50,000 on 260 is about 19% yield.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay,
19.
at 19% yield, your return on capital employed would be in the region of 45%.
45.
Yeah,
Is that passive sort of thing or
yes,
or
passive.
recurring?
Mhm.
No, how much leverage you take then?
So imagine if it's 200, you buy it for 260. Let's say even if it costs you 270 because there's there's auction fees or whatever. It costs you 270, right? At
Okay.
270, you leverage it 25.75. So you invest 25% of the
Hey, but
270.
that's
Do some
still-
numbers.
Okay, 270 divided by 4. So 50 divided by 67, even 50 divided by 70 would be 70%. No?
No, Damir. Okay, I need
I
to
did
take someone who's
something
good at
wrong,
maths. Alan, are you good at maths? Can
I
you
did
please do this with me?
something wrong, obviously, no?
Alan, you there?
Okay. No, if I calculate 25% of 270, I get 67,000.
60.
Yeah.
So
Is it-
investor invests 67,000 pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then I'm getting 50,000 a year.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. No, you're not getting 50,000 a year. No.
No?
Remove minus the mortgage.
Mortgage. This I didn't calculate. Yeah, okay. Yeah, true. Okay.
Minus the mortgage
Here.
at 8%.
Yeah, okay.
Minus mortgage.
And 5? How many? 5%.
8%.
8. Okay. So there's 16. But okay, 15, 50. What was there?
It's about 200,000 at 8%, about 15,000 pounds or
okay.
16,000
No,
pounds.
makes sense. Yeah. That is now like, yeah.
So
okay.
when you remove that, you're left with about what, 35,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay, you invested how much? 67. You're gonna make your money back
67.
within 2 years. That's almost over 50% return on money invested.
Yeah, that's 60%, 67%.
That is right.
That's right.
Now you take that money, you take that deal, and you give it to an investor, right?
Okay. Mhm.
You charge them either arbitrage, control the deal, or you charge them a sourcing fee. Simple.
Okay. True.
How much will be sourcing fee in this
Anywhere
case?
between 3 to 5%.
Sourcing
3 to 5.
3 to 5%. It means
I would charge 5%.
5%.
So if this, let's say this is, you get this for 260, 5% of 260 would be about 13,000 pounds.
30K.
13, 1-3.
Yes, 1-3. Yeah.
Okay. You can find deals like that in many regions. Hull, Leeds, Tyne Wear, Sheffield, Leeds. What else was there? Yeah, there's about 5-6 reasons. County Durham. You can find deals like that there all day long. Okay, and remember, if you are controlling the arbitrage, then you're expected to manage the whole thing. If you're charging 5% fee, you're still expected to manage the whole thing because that's a lot of money. So you find the deal, you get the legals done for them, you get the mortgage done for them, you look at everything once the deal is done, you manage it for them, you do the whole lot, but you make money every step of the way. Okay, remember, we're talking arbitrage. Arbitrage applies to everything. Okay, even when you come to me and say, I've got a rent to HMO deal, and let's say at that point I don't have any money, I go and borrow it from someone, I give them 1% a month, that's 12% a year, right? You tell me this deal is going to make, let's say, 50% return on money invested. I will then keep the 38%. Okay? That's what the game is. Any questions, Damir?
Can you show arbitrage on development deal?
It's very, very simple. Let's say you buy something £1 million. Let's say the conversion is another 1 million, 2 million. Let's say the GDV is 2.5. Okay? So the cost is 2 million. The profit is $500,000. On the 2 million, you can normally leverage that up to about 90% with a mezz loan, senior and mezz loan. You only need about 10%. On the 2 million, 10% would be 200,000. Okay, let's say you still need working capital of another 100, so you need about 300,000. On the 300,000, you're going to make £500,000. That's 160% profits. You go and share that with an investor 50-50. They get 80% return on their money invested. You make 80%, which is 250,000 on the whole leverage. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Any other questions, Damir? It's not very difficult, guys. See, the challenge is.
It's not.
See, the challenge is
How you
getting.
then I mean, okay, you find it there, so you negotiate with these guys. So if, for example, I come there or call someone, and then let's say I don't have any kind of experience, let's say, and any track record. This I mean, I don't have track record, and they would ask a lot of questions, probably, you know, about who.
Very good question, Damir. Very
Sorry?
good question. Very good question.
Yeah.
Never ever use the word I.
Okay.
Always say we. When you
Okay.
do that, that means you have more people behind you.
Mhm,
When they
mhm.
look at you and they think, okay, he doesn't have experience, you just tell them, look, I'll bring someone who has experience that I'm learning from.
Okay.
You take me on the call, I will share my track record.
Mhm. Okay.
I promise you, I
Mhm.
did exactly the same. When I started property full time, I learned this, and every time I was meeting someone and they might think, oh, this guy doesn't have enough experience,
Mm.
I would bring my friend whose experience I was using as my backup.
Okay.
So now you can use my backup experience. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Damir,
Jack,
I was
Jack,
using Rajpal's experience.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Jack,
Okay.
one question, please.
Yeah.
I've heard sort of various views about sort of sourcing deals. Do you start with the investor, i.e., do you find out what his criteria are first and then source for the investor, or do you find the deals and then find an investor to suit? What's the way you do it?
Chicken and egg. It doesn't really matter what you do first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
I just met Tarlok, which I said to you. He's sitting on 200. He said, I've got another 400 coming in. I showed him these high yielding ready-made deals. He said, no.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, I want development deals. I said, okay, I'll find you development deals. Now,
Right.
let's say I sit with someone else and this guy wants no hassle, probably a doctor, engineer, professional, executive somewhere, has zero clue about property. All he wants to do is, I made £1 million bonus last year. I want to invest this money. You buy them ready-made blocks.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
don't want hassle. So it's like a
Yeah.
chicken and egg. Always look for both.
Yes.
When
Yeah.
you have
Sure.
the deal, you can go in and find it. You have an investor lined up, go and find the deal. It doesn't really matter what you do.
Yeah, yeah. I know one guy, for instance, who said to me he wants HMOs in Reading.
Yeah.
Now, I don't normally look for HMOs because it's
Yeah.
just not my bag. But
Yeah.
you know, I could, if I wanted to, spend some time, find some HMOs, and then go back to him. So yeah, perhaps I ought to do that. Yeah.
Introduce him to me.
Yeah.
And about half an hour later, he would never invest in a HMO.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I will introduce you to him. I mean,
if he's got an open
I
mind,
tried to interest him in some other things rather than HMOs, and he said, "No, I just want HMOs because he understands them." Yeah.
Okay. Look, that's what I was gonna say. Has he got an open mind? Because if he's got an open mind, half an hour later he's gonna think HMO is the worst investment.
Okay. Well, I'll introduce you to him, Jack. And
but
then,
remember, if he hasn't got an open mind, he might just still stick to say, "No, I'd rather have HMO." That's fine.
Well, yes, I think his mind is a little bit closed because I've tried to interest him in different things, and he just wants HMOs, you know.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
HMOs, in fact, literally yesterday I was telling Rajpal, I was like, HMOs are probably the worst in the category of investments. Because by the time you net it, as in the sense bills paid, council tax paid, maintenance and breakages and voids and everything paid, it's actually one of the worst investments.
Yes, and a lot of hassle as well.
A lot of hassle,
yeah.
I'd rather just take something that's up north, single unit, permanent flats, rental insurance in place. Even if they don't pay, I'm still covered and I can evict them. That's a 10 times better investment, as well as 10 times more safer.
Yeah.
And a lot more lesser hassle. Again, open mind. If they don't listen, they don't listen. These days I just move on. I just move away from people who don't listen.
Sure.
I just move away. I'd rather save my time. If you're not going to listen to what I'm saying, and you can't make sense of objective, logical numbers on a spreadsheet,
Sure.
I'm not here to teach you that stuff.
Yeah,
I can show you the numbers. You like them, you don't like them. You can go and find work with someone else.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm not bothered. Okay. So yeah, it's a chicken and egg thing. So you just need to find your own balance. That's all. Any questions?
Is it possible to, let's say, like when we were on Saturday, you also mentioned, and every time you say that it's always like a thin line, you know, sometimes you have a lot of investors and on the other hand, you have a lot of projects. So you don't have it aligned. So when you come across a project and you don't have investors, can you, I mean, how you actually incentivize these guys to keep it till you find the investor? If it takes maybe too long,
you have to be smart about this.
Than
Yeah,
they expect, you know.
you have to be smart about this, Tamir. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have, and you know, this is recorded, so people are going to watch this. But I have a bunch of people behind me who'd always give me proof of funds.
Okay.
Okay. So I have, in many instances, taken proof of funds from someone else because I don't have the money sitting around. Okay. And I would say, okay, here is proof of funds. And just hold the deal in the sense of, okay, just start the legals and then find someone to source it to.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I've done
How
that
long
many
does
times.
it take, you know, to make legals and everything?
It can drag anywhere between 2 months to 8 months. I've seen the worst is 8 months. I've seen the best is about a month.
Okay.
But I know people who've been doing legals for 2 years and they still haven't completed. Okay. So yeah, it's a balance. Like I said, I have an investor in my network. I remember when I agreed on one of the big hotels. I actually agreed on a really big hotel about 4 years ago. I called up this guy. He gave me proof of funds for £1 million.
Okay.
That deal never completed. Okay. But still, I was able to hold that deal on the basis of someone else's proof of funds. And in many instances, I've taken proof of funds of 300, 400, 500 from many different people just to be able to hold on to it.
I see. Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Any other questions? Okay, here's something I wanna share with you. Okay, every time you come across a challenge, okay, you have to close your eyes and think, what is it that I can do to solve this? There's a very thin boundary between ethical and not being ethical. Okay, you know, bringing proof of funds from someone else and sourcing a deal to someone else is just being creative. It's not unethical. Does that make sense? You're not being dishonest with anyone. You're just being creative so you can get a deal over the line. Okay? So it's just really every challenge that you come across, you just need to be creative. You just have to find a creative way. I did this morning. In fact, I did this morning when I was going through the deals and arranging appointments. From the auction company, I got an email saying, can you send us proof of funds? You've asked to see 7 properties. We can't arrange appointments unless we see proof of funds. So I had 180 sitting in my account. I sent him that. Then I had a friend sitting right beside me at that point. And he said, I've got a 350 grand sitting, 350 grand sitting in my account. If they ask for more proof of funds, please let me know. Okay. And I said to him, you know, would you be interested in any of these deals? He's like a third cousin as well and a close friend. I said, yeah, why not? If it's yielding 15%, it's probably going to make 30-35% return on my money invested. Why not? I said, okay, well, I'll let you know. I sent 180,000 rand proof of funds to the auction company. I CC'd the agent. Then I wrote to them, I said, I've got another 120 coming of my own, even though it's another 170. And I said, I've got another 350 for a family member who's looking to invest. If you want to see proof of funds, I'm happy to send. His next reply was, CCing the agent, can you arrange the viewing of all of these 7? 5 minutes later, all the 7 viewings arranged, and I got the email. Okay.
Yeah, good.
I've arranged 10 viewings, properties worth probably about 5 million, okay, on 180,000 pound proof of funds in my account.
That's good.
Okay. So you just have to be creative with your challenges. That's all it is. It's not rocket science. Think on your toes. What's the best way? You gotta have some people around you to help you out. You know, proof of funds when you need it and you don't have money in account. You need someone who's got money and then he trusts you enough to say, you know what, here's proof of funds for 500,000. I may not even give you the money, but I'm helping you out. And I've got people around me like that. Because you got to network, you got to keep the relationships going. Okay, these guys, some of these guys, I've helped them many, many times. So don't just expect something for nothing. Be prepared to help out when they need you. You know, good stuff. Anara, any questions?
No, everything.
All right, Rajesh, do you have any questions?
Sorry,
questions?
Jack. Someone had done some fraud on my account, so I had to talk to the bank. No. It's ruinous. When's the next one we're doing one of these? Because I'm obviously going
It's
through the
every
video.
Monday, unless I cancel it.
Yeah.
The default is Monday 5 o'clock.
Monday 5 o'clock. Okay, I'll be here next Monday. That's
Yeah,
great.
so Monday default is 5 o'clock, unless I come and say otherwise.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, no, it's been really helpful, and this is recorded as well. Will this be going into? Will this be going into
season 2, video probably 17.
Okay.
If it's 16 or if it's 17 and 18 or whatever.
Okay.
Guys, it's just understanding risk mitigation, understanding deals and numbers, and using arbitrage in your favor. It's not rocket science.
Okay.
All of the investors, Alan, that I've spoken with in the last 3-4 months or so, I'll be calling every one of them once I've viewed these properties.
Yeah.
And my aim is to find out what is it that they are expecting on their money. If they're,
Sure.
I know some of these guys would be very, very happy with 1% a month. That's 12%.
Yeah.
If I could take that money, put it in an SPV, make them directors, you know, and then keep the arbitrage, which is 18% in my favor, I'll be laughing all the way to the bank, many-fold over.
Yeah. Okay. What I'm going to do, Jack, regarding the first thing I mentioned at the start of the conversation, the specialised supported living, I'm going to drop you an email about that, because it's like something we haven't spoken about before, but I'll send you the parameters and then see if there's any mileage in it.
I'll have a look at it, but remember, my knowledge is limited when it comes to supported living.
Yeah, I'll check out the contact you sent me.
Yes, Susan's,
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Guys,
Cheers.
if you have any questions, great. If not, we're going to wrap up today.
I have a question. It's about the site which we've chosen on Saturday. I went to the site and I've done photos and videos. And from my point, I think that is a good site. Yeah, because we have new development near.
Send me everything in one single email and I'll have a look at it.
Okay, yes, because it looks fine from my point, and then I would like to start.
Send me everything in one single email. I'll have a look at it.
Yes, I will put everything.
Good stuff. So Damir, Rajesh, do you have any questions?
No. It's quite straightforward.
Okay.
It's quite straight. The arbitrage. Obviously, starting out, it's like you said. You need to add value and bring something to the table.
Guys,
it's probably easier when you got a couple of deals, but I suppose you have to start somewhere.
Guys, please remember, knowledge does not make you money.
No. Doesn't pay the bills.
Does not make you money. The tiniest of the knowledge applied is what makes you money. And when you take the tiny knowledge and you keep digging deeper and deeper and deeper, is when you build wealth. Okay? That's what you got to do. You got to take a deal and find an investor for it. Either you do it yourself or you source it. Doesn't really matter. Game is value and arbitrage. If you cannot find a deal for yourself, you do not understand property. So when people come to me and say, can you find me a deal? And I am a seasoned investor, I'm thinking in my head, you're an idiot. Okay? Because you're lying. If you're a seasoned investor, why do you need someone else to find you a deal? If you do not know how to find a deal, you're not an investor. You don't understand property. Only people who understand property are the ones who know how to find their own deals. Okay?
Yeah.
Go and find your deals, stack them up, then go and find an investor who is either going to buy from you or They're going to give you money for you to do the deal yourself. Either it is a development deal, planning deal, rent to HMO, rent to rent, conversion, or ready blocks of flats. Okay. Me personally, I don't like sourcing because I'm only making 30, 40, 50 grand, while the guy is going to make consistently 100 grand for the rest of his life. I would rather keep the arbitrage, give him 50% or give him even 70%, keep myself 30%, because then he's making 70, I'm making 30 for the rest of our lives. Does that make sense? Okay. Yes, it comes with hassle. Yes, it comes with, but that's passive income coming to you for the rest of your life. So I'd rather play arbitrage in my favor of being able to control the deal for the rest of his life. Okay.
Good.
All right. Okay. I'm going to leave you with that, and I shall see you next Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll see you next Monday, 5 o'clock.
Yes.
Otherwise, if you need me to look at some deal, email it to me. I'll have a look at it.
That's great. Thanks a lot, Jack.
Cheers, everyone.
Thank you
Thanks,
very
bye.
much. Bye. Bye-bye.